Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Hamlet and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Hamlet's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give the correction, and the only correction that we give here at school is a tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Hamlet has been fitted with his own training equipment that will go home with him, and you'll be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now, if you notice, Hamlet's sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper walking on a leash, and the command is Hamlet, heel.
Hamlet, heel.
Now, at this point, Hamlet has a job to do, and that is to stay even with your left leg when you're walking with him. No lunging out, no dragging you down the street. Walking next to you like a gentleman, so that even though you have a very, very large dog, that he is under control and that he's respectful of you and your boundaries, so that he isn't jumping, biting the leash, but walking like a gentleman. And when you stop, he sits automatically without being told to wait for his next command. And the next command we're going to demonstrate is the sit-stay.
Stay.
The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. Now, we know that Hamlet doesn't love this exercise, but you're going to practice it at home for about 30 seconds, working up to a couple of minutes. When Rich returns back to him, he walks all the way around him, returning all the way back around to heel. Rich gives them some love for praise, and they take off heeling again. And remember, you don't have to praise him every time he does something right, because that amps him up, and then he thinks you're playing. And this is work time. So your motivation can be a simple pat on the head, a good boy, but not much more than that. And when you stop to cross traffic or talk to someone on the street, he should be sitting nicely and waiting for his next command. And we're just going to leave him again in a stay. And again, this is all teaching him self-control, focus, maturity. It's all very important, and even though he might be distracted by a squirrel or something in a tree, he's sitting there and he's holding it. Very good job. And they take off heeling again. And I think that this is going to be really helpful for all three of you, that Hamlet now knows to have some respect for the person on the other end of the leash. Now, sits are slow.
Stay.
That's a Great Dane, and he's very big. So he kind of backs into it, but he does do it and he can hold it.
Stay.
And you can tell him looking at, see him looking at Rich, waiting for his next command. Now, the next commands that we're going to be demonstrating for you are his down commands, and there are two of those. There's your down from a heel position and your down from a distance. And I know you had done some work with the down, and you showed me when you were here with him. We teach our downs just a little bit differently. So with a dog seated, you take your left open palm straight down toward the ground, and the one-word command to down and stay. Your long down stay when you're practicing at home, work up to 3 to 5 minutes. And usually once you get past a certain mark, the dog just gives in and goes to sleep. But he's holding that down stay very nicely. When Rich returns back to him, he will walk all the way around him, just as he did on the sit stay. And getting a big dog like this, any dog, but most specifically a big dog like this, allowing you to walk behind him is a huge trust thing because he can't see you, and a lot of dogs have a problem with that. And he's doing great with it. And see, if Rich turns, Hamlet's paying close enough attention that he turns as well. So it's a lot nicer for you when you're out on a walk that people are admiring your dog and not saying that he's being bad.
Down. Stay.
And you can practice your down stays right in your living room. You don't have to go outside. Your sit stays, your down stays. They're stationary exercises. It's going to be bitterly cold this weekend, so practice them in the house. So as you can now see, dog training does not have to be a bad thing or something that scares your dog. Now, the very next exercise that Rich is going to demonstrate for you is your down from a distance. So he's going to have him sit and stay.
Stay.
He's going to turn to face him. He's going to use his right hand to give the command, and Hamlet goes into a down from a distance. Very nicely done, Hamlet. So we have demonstrated for you all of Hamlet's formal obedience commands, your healing, your automatic sits, your stay, your sit stay, your down stay. All of these commands we're going to be showing you how to do when you come for your lesson. We've enjoyed having him, and thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.